A very good evening to you. It is exactly 9 p.m. on this for the day of March 2024. This is the Spotlight here on Lookuptv. Many thanks for joining us on this particular day, a day when President William RUTO has signed the county's additional allocation bill that will see county governments receive an additional 46.3 billion shillings in the financial year 2023-2024. Now that, among many other stories we've prepared for you tonight, first of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines.
Address our issues or else. Kmpdu issues a 7-day strike notice as medics hold peaceful demonstrations at the Ministry of Health headquarters in Nairobi. Housing levy deductions are illegal. LSK to sue KRA for contempt of court on housing levy. Reason to smile for counties? President William RUTO has signed into law the bill of a county's additional allocation, giving counties an extra 46.3 billion. And securing the north. Specialized security forces have been deployed to boost the ongoing Operation Maliza Uhalifu in the 6 North Rift counties.
Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani, and our sign language interpreter is Josephine Oko. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. Let's kickstart our bulletin now. And doctors have issued a 7-day strike notice beginning next week on Monday. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union on Monday staged a peaceful demonstration in Nairobi, protesting, among other things, the shooting of their Secretary General Daji Atela by police during a similar demonstration in Nairobi last week.
Of Nairobi were filled with medics carrying placards. Cries of justice renting the air as they demand for their rights, marching to the Ministry of Health headquarters at Harper Hill. The disgruntled medics made the whistles their greatest communication tool. This coming barely a week after Kmpdu held protests where they wanted issues raised by the union addressed. Today, once again, the doctors took to the streets issuing a 7-day notice saying if their issues are not addressed, then they will down their tools beginning on Sunday, March 9th.
Today is that much. But as a union, as Kmpdu, we are going to give a strike notice starting today, a 7-day strike notice that will culminate in shutdown from Sunday midnight.
There's also been a push and pull between the unions and the government on the posting of interns, whom the union claims are wasting away and languishing at home. And according to Kmpdu, 1,215 medical interns are waiting posting, with some having waited for either 6 months or 1 year.
We have a group of healthcare workers who are posted as UHC staff. They have been on contract, and the contracts keep on changing, the salaries keep on dropping. We don't know where the money keeps on going. They are in Green Park. They are going to join us as comrades in the march to Afya House to call out the CS and her team.
Further, the doctors are now demanding that the government issue a comprehensive medical coverage to them, which has reportedly been scrapped in the newly proposed Social Healthcare Insurance Fund shift, payment on postgraduate fees, studies leaves and pension being among the issues raised.
The CS has abdicated her duties.
Law Society of Kenya came to the medics' defense, condemning the willful disregard of the law by the government agencies, violating of rights to protest and vote, to stand in solidarity with Kmpdu in taking all necessary action to ensure justice is served for Dr. Daji Atela.
Kenyans are exercising their rights, including the right to peacefully protest, that the police appear to be using excessive force. This can only lead us to one conclusion, that there is an informal government policy to restrict the rights of Kenyans.
Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
To a story now touching on devolved units, and counties will receive an additional 46 billion shillings in the 2023-24 financial year after President William Ruto assented the county government additional allocations bill on Monday at State House, Nairobi. Now, during the signing of the bill, President William Ruto reiterated his government's readiness to support devolved governments to discharge their mandate. Branham Wai now reports.
President William Ruto on Monday, in the presence of Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Speakers Moses Wetangula and Amason Kingi, and Council of Governor Chairperson Anne Waiguru, assented to the county government's additional allocations bill 2023, which will see counties receive an additional 46.3 billion to cater for the financial year 2023-2024.
Now we have resources that will support our counties. Close to 29 billion shillings will be made available by this piece of legislation that has now become law. It will support our counties to discharge their mandate, which is very clear in our constitution. And because the counties are carrying out mandate assigned to them by the constitution, and it is our responsibility to mobilize resources and support the counties. I must say that
during the signing of the bill, the president reiterated his government's readiness to support devolved governments to discharge their mandate.
We continuously are working towards making sure that whenever we have resources, it is shared between the two levels of government equitably, so that every level of government can discharge their responsibilities. The week before, we paid about 31 billion shillings to our counties. We are again planning in the next week or two to pay another substantial amount of money, again to support our counties for them to discharge their responsibility.
Of the 46 billion made available by the presidential assent, 450 million will go towards the completion of 5 county headquarters. The new law has also allocated 5 billion for the subsidized fertilizer program. The president urged farmers to take advantage of the fertilizer to grow food and help make the country food secure. Another 4.5 billion will be allocated to 18 counties.
Additionally, because we are now moving into the planting season, and God has been gracious to us, we have sufficient rain. There will be resources also to support our fertilizer subsidy program that is going to assist our farmers across the country.
The president urged farmers to take advantage of the fertilizer to grow food and help make the country food secure. Another 4.5 billion will be allocated to 18 counties for the county aggregated industrial parks, where each county will get 250 million Kenya shillings. The head of state said the government's aim is to progressively reduce and ultimately stop spending 500 billion the county uses annually to import food, including edible oils, rice, wheat, sugar and maize, which can be grown locally.
Last year, we provided seeds for sunflower, because edible oil is one of the big tickets that is consuming our foreign exchange. And it is our plan to reduce the purchase of edible oil, where we spend close to $1 billion every year. We want to reduce that to 50% in the next 3 years.
The bill was sponsored by Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro, who is also the chairperson Budget and Appropriations Committee in the National Assembly. 2 weeks ago, the National Treasury disbursed 31 billion to counties, and President Ruto said they will receive another substantial disbursement soon. This comes as counties and national government are at loggerheads on the disbursement of funds. Brian Amuai, Lookuptv. Nairobi.
The Law Society of Kenya now says it will initiate a contempt of court proceedings against the Kenya Revenue Authority Commissioner General over alleged illegal deduction of the housing levy. Addressing the press on Monday, LSK President-elect Faith Odhiambo said there was no legal basis for the taxman, including other state agencies, to deduct the funds from employees. Ebi Kadenyi files the following story.
Just a few days after the Attorney General Justin Muturi cautioned against making any collections from the affordable housing levy that was declared illegal by the Court of Appeal, the Law Society of Kenya, led by the outgoing President Eric Thury, now say they will commence contempt of court proceedings against the government for illegally collecting housing levy despite the court orders. Thury also condemned the Attorney General for the advisory he released, claiming it was unnecessary.
We think that irrespective of the advice that the Attorney General has given, it is every person has a right to comply with court decisions. KRA is part of the parties that were in court, both in the High Court and in the Court of Appeal. And we know that they have competent lawyers within their organization that would have advised on the effect of the Court of Appeal failing to give an order to stay the implementation of the High Court decision.
Thury further called on to the Kenya Revenue Authority and other accounting offices to know that currently there is no law authorizing the implementation of the housing levy. Thury further urged the government to desist from the willful disobedience of court order and disregard of provisions of the Constitution and the law for the sake of Kenyans.
It can only lead us to one conclusion, that there is an informal government policy to restrict the rights of Kenyans. There is a government policy not to comply with court orders that the government does not agree with. And we are concerned that if we continue in this manner, then the administration of law going to courts will lose meaning, and it will get to a point where ordinary members of the public will decide to take law into their own hands.
LSK has called on to Kenyans to arm them with evidence of illegal deductions, which will come in handy when the petition is filed in court.
It has come to our attention that the Kenya Revenue Authority and other government agencies have, despite the declaration of Section 84 as being unconstitutional, have continued to deduct and remit to the Kenya Revenue Authority the housing levy. There is no legal basis to deduct the housing levy, and this action amounts to contempt of court and arbitrary imposition of tax.
Ebi Kadenyi, Lookuptv.
Well, that story by Ebi Kadenyi takes us to a fast breather. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
Tere, mambo ni mawili, kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we mse. Nini mbaya? Wewe kwani wani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya, lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time, hata angalia barabara. Tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe, mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today. on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today. Or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke. The University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to modern libraries equipped with the latest resources, we provide you with the tools you need to succeed. Choose from a wide range of programs designed to prepare you for challenges of tomorrow's world. Whether in STEM, humanities, business, or the arts, our strong industry connections and career service support will help you translate your education into meaningful career opportunities upon graduation. Join a vibrant community of scholars from around the world, fostering cultural exchange, collaboration, and lifelong friendships. Book your space now for September intakes. Log in to https://www.uonbi.ac.ke for a wide range of courses to choose from. You can also contact +254 020 491 0000 or email us at pr@ounbi.ac.ke.
Welcome back. Let's continue with the bulletin now. On the new regulations in the energy sector are set to improve the quality of electricity market, which will in turn ensure an efficient and reliable supply of electricity. This is according to EPRA Director General Daniel Kmpdu, who was speaking during the Stakeholders Engagement Forum on the Draft Energy Regulations 2024. Kmpdu expressed confidence that the regulations will promote fair pricing by reviewing and approving any services to be charged by licensees.
But for us as the regulator is to have as much optionality to the consumers as possible, so that then, as we say, akin to the telecom space, where you could be able to have multiple service providers providing you the electricity, and you as a consumer having the optionality to move from one service provider to the next service provider in a seamless manner. We'll need to have a conversation so that then we don't have a duplication of investments, as it were, so that then you have competition at the retail level, without having necessarily to restrict entry by geographically restricting the number of actors who come in and how they then apply for licenses from us and how do they compete for consumers. Today in the tariff, as you may be aware, the tariff that we did approve in March of last year, the tariff we only provide for operation and maintenance, O&M costs, in the tariff today. The capex of the building of the transmission lines is 100% borne by the government of Kenya. So when you go now into this space and you have private sector playing in transmission, in the new infrastructure that will be there, we'll have to provide for a wheeling tariff that covers both the operation and maintenance and the capex as well. But for existing lines which have been built by government funding, we'll continue to only provide for the O&M. So it is already in the structure of the tariff process as well. So it is not something new. The wheeling tariff will just allow us to compensate those private sector players who will come into transmission, but continue to compensate KETRACO on the basis of the operation and maintenance, because the government has already funded those lines. Well, today Kenya Power has the majority of the customers, but the monopoly ended with the passage of the Energy Act 2019 that talked to the principle of open access. But however, we had not operationalized that. And today we are here to discuss draft regulations that will operationalize the principle of open access. So that then, because as I said earlier on, the line business is a natural monopoly. If you run a license by us as EPRA, you will not go and construct your own lines. You will use the existing highway, if I can call it that. So these regulations will operationalize that principle that is there in the law. And that will then give optionality to customers to be able then to wheel power from point A to point B, from the generation center to the load center, and allow them to consume that power.
The government will deploy an additional 250 National Police Reserve officers to Lookuptv to enhance security in the county. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua held a high-level meeting of leaders and security chiefs in Laikipia to strategize on ending the rampant insecurity in the county. And as Martin Masharia now reports, Gachagua also launched the Makutano Huduma Center in Laikipia County, calling on Kenyans to utilize these services.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua inaugurated the Makutano Huduma Center in Laikipia County today, marking a significant milestone in providing essential services to the local community. Speaking at the event, the Makutano Huduma Center is poised to cater to the needs of over 500,000 residents in Laikipia and neighboring regions, offering a wide array of government services under one roof. This initiative aims to streamline access to vital services, promoting efficiency and convenience for citizens.
We are devolving a people-centered service to the doorstep. We are reaching over 60,000 customers per day through the Huduma centers in 33 counties across the country. Opening of this facility in Laikipia County increases our reach to the people. The Makutano facility is strategic. It will serve over 500,000 residents of Laikipia and the bordering counties whose Huduma centers are far away. It will complement and ease the demand for service at the other facility in Nyanyuki town.
On Sunday, Gachagua convened a high-level meeting of leaders and security chiefs in Laikipia County to devise strategies aimed at curbing the rampant insecurity plaguing the region. The meeting saw the participation of political figures, national government administration officers, security personnel, county executive members, religious leaders, the business community, members of county assembly, and opinion leaders.
Kwa miaka mingi, the issues of insecurity coming from the neighboring counties of Baringo and Samburu. People living in fear. Hundreds of people have been killed. The new county commissioner and your team, please put your heads together. Commissioner, tafadhali muketi na watu wako. Please, good people, the government has brought you here for a job. And the job is simple: secure our people.
Expressing grave concerns over the loss of lives and property due to insecurity, Deputy President Gachagua emphasized that security is non-negotiable and called for zero tolerance towards laxity in addressing the issue. He, however, urged security officers led by the new county commissioner Onesmus Kiatha collaborate closely with the community to ensure the safety and well-being of all residents.
We'll give you all the support that you need. County Commissioner, please lead from the front and continuously engage these leaders. And I'm sure you will succeed and will give you the support.
Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
Still on matters security, and specialized security forces have been deployed to boost the ongoing Operation Maliza Uhalifu in the 6 North Rift Valley counties ravaged by incidents of bandit and livestock rustling. Addressing frontline security officers at Sarara General Service Unit in Elgeyo Marakwet County, Interior CS Kithure Kindeki said banditry had been categorized together with terrorism, and multi-agency security agencies were aggressively pursuing commanders. George Kaisi tells us more.
Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki on Monday held engagement and consultative forum with herders, elders in the elected leaders from Meru North in Kmpdu grounds, Tigania West, Meru County. During the meeting, the Cabinet Secretary said security forces have taken measures to strengthen ongoing efforts of achieving complete normalcy within 2 weeks. A similar meeting was held in the camp of frontline security forces in Elgeyo Marakwet County, where the Cabinet Secretary said livestock theft had been listed in the same category with terrorism.
Kazi ya wizi wa ng'ombe ni kama terrorism. Na vile special forces imetusaidia katika kupigana na magaidi, suluhisho ya hii wakora sugu, wale commanders wakali, we will also ask the special forces to come and support.
While regretting the deaths and injuries witnessed in the counties where bandits attacks have occurred, Kindiki called on local communities to volunteer intelligence on persons within the area aiding criminal activities.
As you continue to sustain the already prevailing peace, we now want to venture into peace building activities, and we will now bring in other stakeholders.
As a long-term action, the minister approved the construction of a school along Kerio Valley region where children from various communities will learn and live together so as to create a new generation that is not involved in culture of cattle rustling.
We want to build a number of schools along this valley schools which will be boarding schools. And in these schools, we will bring in children from both communities across the river to learn together, because we believe that no child is born a bandit.
George Kayesi, Lookuptv.
Now, Stephen Hinga, an administration police officer, started using alcohol and abusing drugs at the age of 13. By the end of 2016, the officer had started having headaches, which at first he thought was caused by environmental changes because he had just been transferred from Marsabit to Nakuru County. Things, however, took a different turn on the morning of December 27, 2016, when Constable Hinga, who had been assigned to the Bahati police camp, lost his sight, all due to drug and alcohol abuse. Maureen Busire reports.
A personal experience transformed him to an agent of change. His battle with alcohol addiction has now made him a champion for reform. An officer of the law, Stephen Hinga, had a journey of battling alcohol and substance abuse that nearly cost his life.
Kama vile nimesema, siku kuzaliwa nilikuwa kipofu. Ulemavu wa kutoona ni kunipata ulinipata. Nilianza uvutaji wa bangi nilikuwa na miaka 13.
Later, Hinga was transferred to India, where the tumor was removed, but he couldn't see again. The police officer, however, considers himself lucky to be alive after he was registered in rehabilitation and training in the Kenya Society for the Blind, and the National Police Service says it has helped him.
Hapo nikaenda India, nikafanywa radio surgery. Na hapo ndio niliza dukuza daktari, mbona hii tumor na ilitolewa nikarudi. Akaniambia utumizi wa bangi unaweza kuwa unasababisha. Kando na kwamba huwa nafanya kazi na walemavu, bado mimi huwa nafanya kazi na kupinga madawa za kulevya, drugs and substances abuse. Kweli ni kwamba ziko mingi mitaani, iko mingi kwa kijiji, na tangu nianze hiyo mambo, leo ndio na launch officially kampeni yangu na wengine ambao nimeweza kurehabilitate, nimeweza kushika mkono ambao wameathiriwa na drugs.
Alan Washira, who is a teacher at Jacaranda Primary School, a drug addict and an alcoholic, reveals that his addiction at 25 years old cost him his relationship with the love of his life.
Stress zangu zilinionesha afadhali nikunywe. Nikawa ninakunywa jioni mpaka nikazoea sasa.
According to Peter Tena, a resident of Nakuru County, consumption of bang in Kenya has increased by 90% in the past 5 years. Now, Tena is calling for detailed cooperation between Ministry of Interior Affairs and the National Authority of the Campaign Against Drug Abuse.
Sasa katika jamii, bangi na pombe, hakika bangi inavutwa mpaka kwa vijiji. Bangi inavutwa mpaka wazazi wamechukua mikono juu. Isi wetu William RUTO na serikali nzima ya Kenya Kwanza. Hili jambo, sheria zote zile zilikuwa zinahusika katika uvutaji wa bangi na pombe zirejeshwe kikamilifu katika police station.
Maureen Busire, Lookuptv.
Let's move forward now, and coffee farmers in Kmpdu County have vowed to stage a protest at the coffee mill to ensure the ejection of workers at the factory who they claim are related to the managers and aid coffee stealing, thus leading to losses to farmers. This comes as police officers arrested several coffee truck drivers found in possession of stolen coffee. Majid Hussein with the details.
Coffee theft has been on a rampant, with different cases being reported in Kmpdu County. Kmpdu North Sub-County Police Commander Abdullahi Alio says to deal with the menace that has become a thorn in the flesh of the farmers, security has been beefed up at night. However, the enemy has been the enemy within the truck. Drivers found culpable of making away with the coffee that they are entrusted to transport.
Kwanza kesho nafikiri tutawakamata wale wamebaki inside job, wale wako ndani kwa hiyo factory. Tumekuwa na complaint mingi sana na sisi hatukuwa tumejua kumbe hivi vitu zinaiba kwa factory ndani na hawa managers wale wako ndani hapo. So kwanza sasa hivi tumejua sasa, kwa vile tulikuwa tunakimbiza malori usiku, tunakimbiza magari, lakini tumeanza kujua kumbe ni kitu hata naiba saa 9 mchana. So ni kama hao wenyewe wale wanasimamia hapo ndio inakuwa wizi inafanyika hapo ndani. So Tutaweka kwa vile usiku tunaweka security by inachungwa na administration police service, lakini mchana wanawekanga security yao because hata yeye hawa wenyewe watajua because hiyo vitu ilitoka wapi na hapo, na tutapanga na kamati tuone kama mchana hata tuweke security.
Sita nilikuja kuelewa kuna gari aina ya tunaitanga nguruwe iliingia pale Muruwe, na vile iliingia hiyo gari ilisemekana ilikuwa na mtu ambaye ni likara. Wakati iliingia pale walienda wakafungua hiyo gari na wakaanza kutoa kahawa.
Alio further said it was through the information from the farmers that they managed to intercept the consignment worth millions of shillings. Following the arrest, coffee farmers are vowed to stage a protest at the coffee mill to ensure ejection of workers at the factory, who they claim are related to the managers and aid coffee stealing. The farmers also applauded the police for good work and are calling for Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Governor Cecily Mbarire to intervene and ensure all coffee thieves are brought to book.
Na tena kuna watu ambao tumeanjiri, tumekunja kuelewa hao sio wafanyikazi wetu au ni wezi. Tumeanjiri wezi. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuna mambo na wao, tunataka watoke kwa miro yetu haraka iwezekanavyo.
Abdimajid Hussein, Lookuptv.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and the CS for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi played host to the African Diplomatic Corps this morning at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Nairobi for an insightful discourse on the continent's potential and challenges, stressing the urgent need to address conflicts and humanitarian crises facing Africa. Mudavadi also made good use of the platform to urge African diplomats to fully rally behind Kenya's bid for the African Union Commission's top position, in which former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is fronted to secure the job. This and more in our news wrap.
As the campaign for the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to take the chairmanship of the African Union Commission gains momentum, Prime Cabinet Secretary has called on African diplomats to rally the capitals in support of Kenya's bid for the AU Commission's top position. Mudavadi said Africa remains central to Kenya's foreign policy, promoting mutual coexistence through strong continental bonds.
That Kenya took over the leadership of the African Union champion for institutional reforms from Kagame. We hope to work with all as we try to achieve Agenda 2063. And in this respect, we will be humbly coming to you soon to seek your support and the support of your countries.
Elsewhere, religious leaders from West Pokot County are set for special prayers in insecurity hotspot areas within the region. The leaders, who are set to conduct peaceful caravans meeting with reformed warriors to cement and foster peaceful coexistence, shall pray for victims of banditry and cattle raids.
Jambo la kwanza nataka kusema haswa kuhusu jambo hili la insecurity. Kama naibu askofu sasa ninajua kwamba tuko na jukumu ama niko na jukumu ya kuweza kuwaza na kuweza kuwa na suluhu kwa ajili ya amani.
People living with disabilities from Bungoma County have a reason to smile after being given assistive devices, including wheelchair, walking crutches, among other equipments that will help them in their day-to-day activities.
Kwa hao wote ambao wamehusika juu yangu, kila mahala naenda ilikuwa nikipepwa tu. Nashukuru, hata sina lingine la kusema.
The youth in Kilifi have challenged the government to support them in business and entrepreneurship by offering incentives and reducing taxes and bureaucracy. Led by Emmanuel Baraka, who is the manager of Nob Digital, an online platform for networking in business, during the annual Mekatilili Trade Fair, say that the process of opening and running businesses in the country was too hectic and expensive for the youth.
We fear, most people, even registered business, they're afraid of registering their businesses because unapata they are afraid of the taxation and many other. So perhaps the government will look at that and help innovate, because I can see for sure that young people have various ways of survival.
Lona Lorraine Ombuya, Lookuptv.
Let's get sporty now, and Judith Chepngetich and Bernard Lagat are the winners of the 2024 Betika Kapsabet Road Race in the female and male categories, respectively. Judith won the 15 kilometers women's race, clocking 50 minutes and 6 seconds, while Bernard Langat won the men's race, clocking 41 minutes and 13 seconds. The race, which was held in Nandi County, saw over 700 athletes from different counties participate.
I'm preparing to join road race. Yeah, 10K and also 15 half marathon.
Ukiona umeingia kwa Kenya top 20 ama top 10 inaonekana uko na potential ya kukimbia. So kwa wale wenye hawa kuweza kuingia top 10, kitu mwenye anapea motisha naambia tu wangangane.
There is a lot of talent which is not tapped at the grassroots. There are many people organizing many events with the champions, with people who are already not at the bottom of the pyramid. And that is why we said Betika community is going to the grassroots to pick those people who have no opportunity in the counties, and therefore we can reach that talent and uplift them.
Now, Elvis Muigua emerged the winner of the Windsor Classic Golf Series that was organized by Kenya Golf Union. Muigua carried 129 points ahead of Michael Karanga and Ebil Omolo, who finished second and third respectively. This is the third consecutive win for Eric Muigua this season. Now, Extreme Sports Chief Executive Officer Hussein Mohammed reiterated the importance of improving football in the country. Hussein, who is among the aspiring presidents of the forthcoming Football Kenya Federation elections, insisted on the need to improve the FKF Premier League as well as other leagues in the country for the benefit of the players in the country. Well, that particular story wraps up our bulletin. Many thanks to the team behind the scenes that made sure this bulletin was a success. To you, many thanks for making time to be with us tonight. Do have yourself a wonderful night, and like always, God bless.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to info@lookuptv.co.ke.